Hello and welcome to Spill the Wine.
Hello, my name is Adam Mahideen, your resident homosexual.
Hello, my name is Amanda Santiago and I am a local bisexual.
And I'm international and I like men. And our topic today is...
Sexuality.
Yes. Sexuality is fluid.
What can we talk about with sexuality? I mean, I know what we can talk about, but
Yeah. I definitely was in the position where I was waking up and I had a fight with my ex-boyfriend or ex-affair or whatever, and I was like, Mom, why can't I be a lesbian? And she was like, you're not. And it's so true. I'm very not. It's not like I don't like women, and I might be there when I'm drunk sometimes, but it's never like I really like men.
So do you find it different to just be straight and like men, and then, occasionally you might be attracted to women, and do you not find that being bisexual?
Oh, no, I'm not bisexual. It's not like I'm attracted to them in that kind of way.
Okay.
I think women are beautiful and everything, and I made out with women. That's not what it is, but it's not like I'm not bisexual. And a lot of people are gonna be like, what?
You're like, damn it!
Yes!
you're gonna have these girls lining around the block. It's funny because it's like, I feel like with guys, sexuality for them is very fixed. At least it tends to be, because I notice that with women,
they would never just, if a straight guy would not make out with a guy and be like, I'm not gay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I make out with a woman, I'm not gay.
But you know what's
never
funny?
do
That some people find it, some people find it that you're not bisexual. For example, I've been called this, that just because I don't want to marry a woman, that doesn't make me bisexual. I will have relationships with women, but I know at the end of the day, I want to have a husband and I want to have children. So does that make me any less of a bisexual if I know that I don't want to have a long-term relationship with women?
Well, that kind of makes me question the validity and the importance of what marriage is in your life.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you feel like everybody should get married? Do you feel like
no? But I do know that I do want my life partner to be a man, but I can't help that I'm attracted to women.
So
and
maybe
I can't
you
help.
can meet a guy who's okay with you.
I need a man who is
Just
in
go
touch
straight
with
to
his
the bottom.
feminine side. That's what I need. I need a man who knows how to feel like a woman.
Yes, but I think when you say feminine side, I want a guy who's a man, but who can be emotional, but not feminine. Feminine to me is like
the same
me.
thing.
No, it's not. I think emotional, it's not. If you say emotional is feminine, a lot of guys are gonna be like, I'm not emotional, and that's not what it is. I think a lot of guys are emotional, but
I disagree.
But this was the point that I was trying to make before about how women are so much more fluid with their sexuality because they're okay with their emotions. Because guys are stuck in this prison of masculinity, they can't see their emotions for what they're worth. And I'm not saying guys, recognize what your emotions are and make out with me. I'm not saying that, but I kind of am. But I feel like men, when it comes to men, sexuality is fluid for them too, but the social stigma keeps them in prison.
a lot of them, not all of them, obviously.
So I do feel like each person has a divine feminine side and a divine masculine side. I do believe that every person has that part of themselves where they're able to be a lot more, masculine and feminine. That's the only word I can describe them. But when I mean that the part that I disagree with you about is that I feel like because men are able to be emotional, that makes them in touch with their feminine side. Because femininity and being emotional go hand in hand. And I feel like what I want is I want a man who is able to feel like a woman, because if you can't feel like me, what makes me think that you can't love me?
It's empathizing. Yeah. I think we agree, but I think the terms feminine and masculinity or masculine,
they have a bad rep.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, no, I don't want a man who's feminine, but I want a man who's totally in touch with his emotion and who
Yes. You have to be able to
and can empathize with my struggles as a woman.
Hell yeah.
How old were you when you came out as straight?
I don't know.
When did society program you?
When I had a crush on a guy when I was at a ski vacation, and I sent him love letters through his door, and one day he just left. But he wrote in my little friend book, and I have hearts all over.
What was
Hi,
his name?
Oliver, if you're watching.
Fuck you, Oliver.
I haven't seen you since we were like, I don't
Hey,
know,
Oliver.
6?
6?
Yeah, I wrote him love letters in the hotel, and one day I put a love letter under the door, and somebody opened and said, "Oh, Oliver's not here anymore."
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oliver, come back!
I know, it's so sad. So that was my first crush. But I don't know how old I was, Mom. Maybe you can comment. But my mom doesn't know.
Hi,
about
Miss
this whole thing.
Wissman.
Yes.
Hi. Okay. No, yeah, I remember. I think, you know, like when you look back to your childhood and you realize the signs, and you're like, holy shit, I was always like this. I think I remember I was in kindergarten.
Did you like?
And no, I didn't. This is the first, I guess, like, if I look back in time and I realize this moment, I'm like, holy shit, I've always liked women. You know, I've always liked girls.
Yeah.
But I remember being on the magic carpets.
Right.
Right? And I was... Carpet. And I was sitting next to... Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Carpet. Go ahead.
They didn't even hear you.
You never heard of, like, carpet muncher?
Guess I'm not that gay.
Anyways.
No,
Comment below.
And I remember just, like, wanting to sit next to her and making this face. Like, just, like...
I never had that. So
And I remember the teacher changing my seat so I can sit next to her.
That was a nice teacher.
And it just being next to her, like... And her being like...
I used to do this thing because I knew that I was gay at a very young age. I've always known.
How? I would love to know this.
My earliest experience was when I tried to peel off the uniform off of my Spider-Man action figure.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah, he it was like
I thought about a banana for some reason.
It was
I don't know
what?
why.
Yeah, my
You said
first
peel.
sexual experience was I said peel.
That's why.
No, like so it was post-battle Spider-Man, right? And he had rips in his suit, and I remember trying to like peel his suit so I could see a nipple.
What?
I was like I had to have been like 6 or 7. It was I don't know. I remember this clearly. But my first time, when I was a kid, I used to do this thing where, like, because as soon as I knew that I was gay, was the same time that I knew that it wasn't right to be gay.
Oh, that's
yeah.
okay.
So for as long as I can remember, I always remember, like, just knowing that it was something that I needed to hide. I used to do this thing that whenever I would see a guy that I thought was cute, I used to yawn. As a way to express, I used to yawn, because you know that thing that people do in cartoons where they see like a guy, and they're like,
oh, I thought this
place a sigh.
Yeah, that's my dad. Did that
like
once,
I
he
would
told
do
me.
that. I would sigh as a means to like express my attraction towards somebody as a child. I don't know how, and also the point that I was trying to make earlier is that like gay people. I don't know. I have this theory that gay people make great liars because. You grow up
to be a liar.
A huge part of yourself. I mean, no wonder I became an actor. You end up hiding a huge part of yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like even now, I'm finding new ways of, like, coming out. Like, the different... Like, I'm dropping all these different defenses.
And also this thing about coming out, you know? Like, can we just... You know, talk about that, how, like, you know, having your own sexual preference, it's not always necessary for you to come out, because what is coming out of the closet? It doesn't make sense to me.
But what I heard, and I don't know because I'm not in the same position, but I heard that a lot of people who come out feel a huge relief. So I think coming out is a big part of this, and it's necessary for a lot of people because they're hiding something for so long.
Society is making you come out of the closet because it's known to be unacceptable for you to even be gay or lesbian or whatever.
Why do you even have to make a big deal out of it? It's like,
like
me,
why?
Like, hello, I like guys. I would never do that.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me.
Why do I have to declare it? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I came out and like came to terms with my sexuality like around high school. And I graduated like 2011, I would say. So in 2010, 2011, I was just coming out, right? And during that time was when the It Gets Better campaigns were really big in mainstream media. It was when celebrities would sit in front of the webcams and say, don't kill yourself, it gets better. Because gay kids were killing themselves all across America.
What? That's
yeah,
horrible.
and what bothered me, it was like a means of like suicide prevention. And what really bothered me about that slogan, the whole "It Gets Better" campaign, is that it sent out this idea that was like, oh, it gets better eventually, but what about now? All of a sudden, all of these TV shows had gay characters.
Suddenly, it became a trend.
Exactly, and it trivialized. So I felt like when I was coming out, it wasn't only like, oh, I'm gay, but I'm also not the gay guy archetype that most people are really quick to pigeonhole me in, which really pisses me off.
I'm not your gay best friend.
That's what pisses me off. I'm your best friend, period. And I happen to be gay. That's what bothers me, is like when people stigmatize me. And look, listen, I'm wearing fucking eyeshadow right now, and you know, I'm
You've seen Adam. Adam has nails painted.
I'm flamboyant, and I'm not afraid of it. But that's not all that I am. And what
you
bothers
are
me,
not the gay guy.
But I think that's fair, because like I used to say stupid shit like, oh, I'm a black woman in a man's body. Like I used to say dumb shit like that as a kid. I feel like we grow out of these ways of thinking.
Because society, you know, like that's when finally you're able to, you know, say the things that you realize were wrong, or you were like, you know, politically incorrect or whatever the hell. And you know, you learn from those things, and it takes an audience to learn and to accept that part of you, you know?
Right.
I remember when I came out bisexual. I remember being...
To whom?
To myself.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're realizing yourself.
Yes. I used to call myself bisexual senior year of high school, and I just knew that I liked women, but I didn't necessarily like I just used the word bisexual in a very lightweight type of way, you know? And then I went to college, and I started calling myself straight. I don't know why I made that transition, but I was like, you know what? I know that I like men, and I'm still very iffy about women, so I'm still going to, you know, like, not, I'm still going to call myself straight, until I met somebody in college who I will talk about later. You know who you are. She was like, she came out of nowhere, and she was like, Amanda, I think you're bisexual.
Why did she say that, though?
I don't know. Because I would always talk about women.
Yo, don't out people.
She was like, I don't know, I just get that vibe from you. So I went home and I cried in my bed for like so fucking long.
Why did you cry?
Because I had that realization. Like, yeah, I like women.
But that's not good. Like, that's sad.
It's still a realization.
Okay, you know, people tend to trivialize the gay experience, but nobody talks about how traumatic being gay is. A lot of people suppress their homosexuality to the point where they've even convinced themselves that they are straight, or they are, you know, I've seen it in a lot of people.
About that too.
Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of people. And what sucks is that I think the mentality, and listen, I'm not a doctor, but I think the mentality is like I am safe when I'm not expressing this part of myself, therefore it is right. But you're doing more damage than good by like editing a part of yourself on a daily basis. That's exhausting.
That's exhausting. That's horrible. Whatever it is you're feeling, or whatever you think you are, and hiding this, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
That's crazy.
You know, and I've seen it in a lot of people, and
it takes you a long time to accept that part of yourself also, unless you're, I mean, at least for me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, once I had that realization, it took me a while to just, like, you know, like, I have family members who still don't know it, who say that bisexuality is a phase. And I don't agree with that, because I'm allowed to like both men and women. And just because I marry a man, or I want to be with a man at the end of the day, it doesn't make me any less of a bisexual, because I still like women.
Yeah.
How do you feel about talking about this in our video?
I just thought about it too.
With the possibility of your family seeing this.
I mean, I guess I feel like, hell yeah. Water.
Don't say that, girl. You gotta edit that out.
No.
We're
like,
this is water, by the way.
I guess I'm just at this point in my life where I'm trying to be the most authentic person I can be, regardless of what people say about me. Because at the end of the day, I can't control what other people say about me, so I might as well just be me. And if people have a problem with me being bisexual, or people have a problem with me just being myself, then that's on you. That's more of a reflection on you than it is on me.
That's
when, congrats, you learned something about Amanda Santiago.
Amanda, I support you, and I want you to know that I have your back, because I know what it's like to feel adversity, especially when it's coming from your family in regards to being gay. And what bothers me about that is like, you know, family can hurt you the most because they're the closest to your heart. And I feel like when you shame somebody for being gay, it's so dismissive, because it's like, that's not all that I am, though.
And also, it's like your family, those are the last people you fall back on. If friends leave, friends will leave over your life span, but your family's always there.
Yes.
So it's more hurting if somebody from your family doesn't accept whatever you're doing.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to accept that type of neglect, you know? Like, I can accept neglect when it comes from friends or whatever, but when it comes from family, it's a different type of neglect.
Yeah.
It's like a type of neglect where you almost feel ashamed of who you are because your family can't accept you.
And there are better reasons to not talk to family members, like, you know, they're a criminal or they're a killer. I don't want them to kill me. But because they like the same gender, it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, like, I'm talking about this right now. I'm listening to myself, and I just feel like I'm down to talk about this topic and everything, but I'm just like, yo, like, we're still talking about this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
There's
like,
so many people out there who didn't come out, whatever.
yeah.
That's so sad to me.
I came out when I was 15, to my cousin Jenny. We were coming back from the YMCA, and, you know, she was talking about guys she was checking out in the gym, and I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, what guys? And then I just, like, confessed and told her, like, I like men. And I remember that year, it was like, I could count the people that I came out to in one hand, and then it became like more than 10 fingers, and I was just like, well, this is getting out of hand. I remember I didn't like have a sit down with my parents and say like, oh, look, listen, I'm gay. I had it in my mind at 17 when I was coming out. Well, I first came out when I was 15, but I think I was out to everybody by the time I was 17. I had it in my mind at 17 that I didn't have to come out. I was dating somebody that was in my first relationship at the time, and I was like, I'm proud of this. I'm gonna put it on Facebook, change my Facebook's relationship status, and what I tried to do, I tried to block every family member.
I've tried that.
But I got a lot of family. I'm Filipino, and we breed like bunnies. So there is a lot of people, and I lost track. Too. Yeah, and I lost track. And, like, word got back to my mother. My mother cornered me when I was in the shower. And she was like...
That's a weird time.
Yeah, yo. It was like...
Yo.
What's going on?
And she's like, yo, I just got here. Yeah.
Yo, Gia just came back from my aunt's house.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. The aunts always.
And the bochinche was real. But in my mind, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong by not coming out. But turns out my mom was mostly upset because she said to me, she was like, why did I have to find out like this?
Yeah. And that's the thing with, you know, like families. They'd rather you tell them to their face and then find out from someone else.
Right.
That's with everything, though. I want to have something from you than finding out behind their back.
Yeah.
With everything. That's so, like, I just kept thinking about that. I made out with several girlfriends that I had when I was, like, 16, 17. And we all thought it wasn't a big deal at all. Like, we just made out and was like, yeah, we should try this, and then it's over. Like, that wasn't a big deal. Like, you all have those major stories, and I'm like...
No.
I totally, like, it's nice to hear them, but I'm like, okay, what did I do? When I was, like, 17, 18,
but did you like it?
I don't know, I felt like we did it, so everybody like made out with everybody, and then we had it over with, and then it was okay. And some girls I like kissing, and some girls I really did not like kissing.
But sexually,
no.
Didn't, yeah. So I had...
I was like,
how do you not?
I don't know.
Did
Did you ever made out with a girl where you were like, oh hell no, like me?
Yeah, you did. You tell me.
And I was like,
I know he did.
Yeah, I mean, I've had
I had guys who I made out with and I didn't like. It's not like that.
And the audience is gonna think that we did.
Oh yeah, I totally thought that too.
No.
Ew, you're like my sister.
Yeah. Fuck.
I couldn't never make out with
Oh my god, no, but
man.
my first sexual encounter with a woman,
though.
I was what?
That was a good joke.
The camera pans in. One time I was hanging out with a couple friends from school, and there were two straight boys in our group that were going back and forth with each other. And they were like, "Yo, I'm such a good kisser. Like I'm such a good kisser.
That's the first
like,
sign you're
no,
not.
I'm a good kisser." Like they were both like,
Kiss me, bro, kiss me!
okay, so what happened was they were like, "Yo, Adam, come over here, man," and they ended up both like taking turns making out with me,
Really?
and I had to decide. And they were straight. Like as far as I know, these
You
people
straight motherfucker.
these
I
people
know
are
some
straight,
people who are
but-
straight who would disagree.
But wait for it. I took turns making out with both of them,
And then you rated them?
and then I had to like decide who was.
Did
the
you
better
hold
kisser.
up
What'd you say?
numbers?
So-
like this was
so
a 5. This was not
I-
2.5.
So listen. I need to be like emotionally invested in you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Before I can like really like
You
get a
always make it
sense.
so deep.
Wait,
but yes.
Sorry, I can't help it. I'm a Scorpio.
No, yeah.
But we
I
both
agree.
one used too much technique. Like he overcompensated.
He was like, I read a book.
Okay.
Exactly that.
Yo, guys do that.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
They're
other
like,
one.
okay, it has to be this way, and then some guys are
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other one used way too much saliva. I was like,
ew.
So what you wrote? What you vote?
But how
I
about the
said y'all
guys?
both suck.
But
Did you really?
I forget. It was a long time ago.
what
It was
about
a
the
long time
guys who use too much teeth? Or girls, whatever.
Oh, I had a guy who
Teeth.
always
Yeah.
bit my lip. But
Oh, yeah.
excessively. Like, that was his way of making out. He would always bit my
I had
bit
a
my
guy
lip.
and I had like bruises on my lip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think stops somebody from, like, not to say that you have a mental block, but just like how women are so fluid, I believe that men are the same way. But what do you think stops men? Is it the social stigma?
I think it's the
Society,
toxic masculinity. I think it's the fact that men think that they can't do certain things because it makes them less masculine. And that is not the case. You know, that happens with everything. Men think that they're not able to take baths. You know?
What do you mean take baths?
Because they think it's feminine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Men won't wear pink because they think it makes them less masculine. You know?
Real men wear pink.
Unfortunately,
Real
that's
men
how
do
it is.
anal. No, just kidding. But here's the thing about butt sex is that
There we go.
like
That's gonna be part of the trailer.
there's a lot of there are a lot of guys that are like, yo, don't touch my butt.
So we're gonna start
I'm never gonna do it in my butt. But your G spots, right
are
up
in your
butt.
ass.
So it's like, I think you're missing out. I'm just saying.
And it's like, I'm promoting this.
You know, sexuality is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This
You
could
okay?
turn into a sex
I
talk.
don't know. I felt
She's
this.
scared.
I don't know. I
Oh,
just
feel the
think-
heat radiating off of
You
her.
felt it,
like-
right?
Totally.
I don't know. It's like, I feel differently with women than I am with men, but it's not necessarily like a good or bad. It's different. It's just different, you know? I've been with men, and I do feel like I can be a different type of dominant with women than I can be with men, you know? And I can be both equally submissive with women than I can be with men. It's a different type of submissive and dominant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with women, it's almost kind of like I am naturally super vulnerable.
Really?
Yes.
But you're a Cancer. How can you be super
With
vulnerable?
men, I've just caught myself being a little more stronger with men.
It depends on
Like, I have to
what
just-
man. If you don't want the man, of course you're stronger.
No.
But if you want somebody, you're more vulnerable. It will come eventually. Weaker, that's why you're
So I'm
stronger.
forced to be
Yeah.
stronger.
That's interesting because I feel like depending on what guy I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, like I want to fuck him. But other guys will be like, I want him to fuck me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and I think it's cool because it's like, you kind of get to explore like different aspects of yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, comment below and let us know, like, what are some things about sexuality that bother you? What are some things about sexuality that you love? And would like to change in the recent years? What are
right now?
Yeah,
not in the recent years.
Yeah.
Actually, recent years, that means backwards. I'm tired. Yeah, sexuality. Be free. Love who you love.
Yes.
Let go of shame and just be.
Be yourself.
Society, man.
Love whoever you want.
And let us know what you want to know in the next episode. We're gonna have way more wine next time.
For real, this is water. This has been Spill the Wine. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next week.
Bye.
See ya.